is 20.
Eyewitness weather forecast.
All right, let's get you up to date with the forecast because it's going to be changing as we go through the next, well, really several hours here, but not too bad out there this evening. It's still fairly comfortable, but the humidity, that's going to be a big story as we go through the next few days. As we look live downtown right now, look at that blue sky, beautiful out there this evening. Temperature 80 degrees now. Want to draw your attention to that number right there, 54 dew point. So that measures the moisture in the air. The lower that number, the more comfortable you are. As that number goes up, it gets much harder for your body to evaporate sweat. And that number is going to be going up here as we go really into the weekend. Clouds will be on the increase tonight. Nothing more than a sprinkle or a shower late at night. Lows near 60. Tomorrow, it will turn muggier through the day. A few isolated showers around in the morning, and then another chance for a few more scattered showers and thunder showers developing late in the afternoon. High temperatures up near 80. We're in the 70s now across the Adirondacks. 80 in Saranac Lake, here in town as well. 78 in Herkimer, 75 in Springfield, mid-70s in Sherburne. So very nice out there this evening. Wanted to quickly show you this visible satellite imagery, keeping an eye on those Canadian wildfires. You can see the smoke plumes, but notice the direction they're going in that direction, right? So there are all of the wildfires right there, but with more of a southeasterly flow at the surface here. Courtesy of that area of low pressure, we won't have to deal with any of that smoke in the near term. What we will have to deal with is some increasing humidity, some increasing moisture as this area of low pressure slowly works its way along its trough. That's what this dashed line is right here. So that's kind of like the pathway for this storm to go. And it will slowly work its way to the north starting tomorrow, and it's going to kind of loiter around through really much of next week. Wanted to show you this too. I always get this question, why doesn't the West Coast get any hurricanes? That's why. 50s, the water too cool. Water goes this direction out that way. But look at this. This is a strong, what we call El Nino signature. Look at all the warmth building here off the Mexican coast, 90-plus degree water, and even into the Caribbean, which is key because we've got Brett out here near the Lesser Antilles. That will be tracking west, and he'll be moving into the Caribbean and weakening. And then there's another system behind Brett, Tropical Depression 4. This will also curl off to the west and northwest, and then eventually probably out to sea and weakening. So things getting interesting in the tropics, things getting interesting here as well, as showers and thunderstorms will become more likely as we go into tomorrow, through Saturday, and the weekend as well. The other thing, the humidity. Look at this. So we're really going to start to notice the mugginess increase. It will become more uncomfortable. It's that summer-type weather pattern, really the next several days. Many of you would call it a cop-out forecast because it's literally partly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms each and every day. And because there's going to be more humidity, these storms are going to be juicy. So some local soakers, some downpours possible, and it's going to be muggy and warm right into the weekend.
Welcome back, Craig.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. And, you know, had to throw something interesting in the weather for you. Couldn't let you off easy.
No, it's always fun.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Thanks, Craig. Let's take a look at what's coming up tonight on News.
Now, your Eyewitness weather forecast.
All right, what's going on in Central New York? As we get you up to date with the forecast, we look downtown towards the brewery, and a nice gentle breeze kind of stirring Old Glory there. Still a nice night. Clouds, though, will be on the increase, as will the humidity. Not so much tonight, but as we go into the day tomorrow and then into the weekend, you're really going to notice it. So we'll watch those clouds fill in tonight, and there might be a brief like sprinkle or shower very late while you're sleeping. Low temperature down around 61. That number, though, in terms of low temperature, will be on the rise as well. So when we don't drop much below the mid-60s, you know the humidity is going to be in tow. There are the temperatures tonight, upper 50s to the low 60s, North Country, 70 still here in town, 67, Springfield Center. Lawrence is at 69, 71 in Oxford, Norwich, 69 Sherburne, 69 right now in Hamilton. All right, so here's a look at satellite Doppler radar loops combined. Area low pressure down to the south of us, and man, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the flow just coming in off the Atlantic Ocean. You got to remember, right in through here, that is the Appalachians right there. So when that moisture hits those elevations, it wrings it out. And we've had reports of, 6-7 inches of rain down across parts of western North Carolina. This low pressure will slowly work its way to the north. Once we get high pressure north out of here, that will kind of open the door for this guy to move along that black dashed line, along its trough. So that's rising motion in the atmosphere. And we have this thing called precipitable water, which is basically the total amount of water that the cloud can hold. And it could really wring that moisture out. So basically what I'm getting at here, as that low tracks in our direction, some of those storms will be gully washers, localized downpours. We were just talking in studio in the break. If you get caught under one of those and it stays over a particular area, could be some localized flooding because the steering winds aloft won't be all that speedy. All right, let's talk about the tropics. I wanted to bring you up to date with this. So look at the cooler air, or the cooler, I should say, sea surface temperatures off the west coast of the United States. That's why you don't really get much in the way of hurricanes. But look down here off the coast of Mexico, 90-plus sea surface temperatures, even into the Caribbean, too, 70s and 80s. This is all fuel for tropical weather. We've got a guy there, his name is Brett, and he'll be tracking into the Caribbean and probably weakening. Doesn't look like any threat to any land masses as of right now, with the exception of some of the leeward islands. And then on the heels of Brett, we've got Tropical Depression 4, which will also curl to the north and west, but likely stay offshore as a tropical storm by about Tuesday. So things getting active in the tropics, things will get active here as well. So humidity will start to increase tomorrow. Through the afternoon, there could be a spotty shower, maybe a rumble of thunder. Same deal Friday. But notice how we go into the weekend. As we get into Saturday, yeah, you've got some steadier bouts of rain around, but it's not everywhere, right? So it's like the Morton Salt Girl. You remember that on the Morton Salt canister? When it rains, it pours. That's going to be the case as we get into the weekend, I think. There are your numbers tomorrow. So upper 70s to near 80. Humidity will go up. A couple showers and thunderstorms develop as we get into the afternoon. Nice little crescent moon out there tonight as the clouds increase. Mild, still comfortable. Let's leave the windows open tonight. 69. Increasing humidity tomorrow. A few showers, a rumble in the afternoon. Downpours and storms likely to occur Saturday. Not every hour. So it's not going to rain all day. Again, some of that rain could be locally heavy. Muggy, warm, upper 70s to low 80s. I think showers and thunderstorms isolated, meaning not as widespread as they will be on Saturday. So Sunday looks a little better. More juiced up storms into early next week. Still muggy and warm. Upper 70s to the low and mid 80s. Maybe some relief from the humidity by Thursday.
All right, thanks, Greg. You had an important reminder in there that not all day will be wet and stormy.
Right.
Those storms will come, but you can still get outside for a little bit.
Typical summertime pattern, and how it works in summer is rain is random. So your neighbor Joe will get something and you might get nothing.
Exactly. Thanks, Greg. When we come back, an update from Brennan Miller on the 9 area schools that have to change their team names and their mascots per state rules. That's next after this break.
Eyewitness weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint. So as we get into the weekend, the weather is going to become unsettled. The humidity is really going to start to increase, but check this out. This is from earlier as the sun dips behind the brewery there. Beautiful shot as we look west from downtown. These are the longest days of the year. We just had the solstice. We're going to slowly start to subtract daylight as we get into this weekend. So this is the time to remember, Billy Joel. Beautiful shot there. And I think tonight we will see those clouds increase. Could be a few sprinkles or showers late, and a temperature dropping to right around 60 or 61. All right, tomorrow could be a few isolated showers in the morning, and then a few more will try and kind of percolate into the afternoon and turns muggier through the day. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s, and the humidity is only going to go up. And a lot of that has to do with this area low pressure down to the south and a kind of coaxing moisture off the Atlantic Ocean. And you'll see that reflected here as we go down the road. So this area of low pressure over the Appalachians and the Smokies will slowly drift north along its trough of low pressure. That is what this black dashed line represents. It's kind of the path that this area of low pressure is going to take. Here's the thing. As we increase the humidity, that increases lift. On top of that, we have low pressure, also rising air. So as this low moves towards us, we're essentially just going to wring out the moisture. And some of these storms that are in the forecast here for the next several days, especially by this weekend and into early next week, gully washers, man. They will be some local soakers out there with all the humidity building. All right, let's talk tropics. You know, a question I get a lot, why doesn't the West Coast get hurricanes? Well, the answer, that's why. Temperatures, these are sea surface temperatures in the 50s. That's too cool. Hurricanes like warmth. That's the engine. So you can see the water off the west coast of the United States, and it flows this way, by the way, is way too cool. What we're noticing here is a strong signature for El Nino. When we have sea surface temperatures near or over 90 just off the coast of Mexico here, and even into the Caribbean, water temperatures now in the 70s and 80s. I show you this because we have this guy, Brett, tropical storm, 65-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Now, Brett's going to work his way west into the Caribbean, just north of Aruba, of all places. They almost never get anything there. Not only do we have Brett, we have Tropical Depression 4 on his heels. And the track of 4 will take it up towards and north of the Leeward and Windward Islands, and probably north of Cuba and Hispaniola as we head down the road here. So a couple of things to keep an eye on in the tropics. Back here at home, watch a few showers try and bubble up here tomorrow into the afternoon. And then as we get into Saturday, we'll continue to increase the humidity, and there's going to be scattered downpours and storms developing. Does that mean it rains all day? No. But there likely will be scattered showers and storms, and again, some very heavy rain associated with it because of the humidity, which goes up tomorrow into the weekend. I think it's going to stay there right into next week. Temperatures will warm up too, so some juicy storms around here as we head into the weekend. I really don't see any relief from the humidity until probably late next week.
I'm glad you mentioned that it won't rain all day, but good chance to see those thunderstorms. I know those icons can be intimidating. People get scared.
Worse than it actually is. Yeah. The highest likelihood would be in the afternoon and evening, and again, scattered here and there.
Still plenty of time to enjoy the day around it. All right, thanks, Craig. When we come back, we'll take a look at what happened in session for the New York State Assembly. That's next.